Welcome to the listing room, everyone. My name is Benjamin, and today I'm going to be ranking the 70s albums of the awesome classic rock band Kiss. Now, I will not be including the 70s solo albums, just for the sake of ease on this video. And it's not the same members, I guess, but I guess that doesn't necessarily matter so much. But it's just a little easier to rank them without it. They'd probably all be below any of these anyway. So there are 7 albums in total. This list has changed quite a bit. Not necessarily the top two, but for sure, all of the ones beneath that. This list can change at any time. I love all of these albums, and there's even if one's at the bottom or at the top, this isn't a definitive list. I don't hate any of these. I love every single one of them. It was not necessarily the easiest list, but stuff has to go somewhere. So my least favorite and still awesome Kiss album is 1975's Dress to Kill, not because it's bad again, but because it's just not as memorable as the other ones for me. Even though it's still super memorable because Room Service is awesome, Ladies in Waiting, Rock and Roll All Night's a classic, pretty memorable. She, Come On and Love Me, Rock Bottom, good stuff on this album. Really like it. So yeah, there's that one. This next one was higher at one point, I will say, and it's gonna be 1976, Rock and Roll Over. This one used to be a lot higher on the list for me, but it's just got great songs, and I think the other ones I just like a little bit more now. I Want You, Take Me, Calling Dr. Love, Ladies Room. Those first 4 songs are great, and it doesn't do it quite as much for me afterwards. Those first 4 are super strong, and then the rest of the album just doesn't quite hold up to that right now for me. Although Making Love's a good song to close out the album. I liked the album cover, that's really cool. Okay, the next one, also from 1976, and probably my most controversial pick, is going to have to be Destroyer. And again, this probably was my favorite Kiss album at one point, but I've listened to it so much over the years that it's probably not going to be, it's not number one. Not because, again, it's bad, just because I've heard it so many times, and I think I like the other ones. To me, I like the other 4 just a little bit better. But Detroit Rock City is like the greatest opening song ever, just about. I mean, it's one of my all-time favorites for sure. King of the Nighttime World's good. God of Thunder is probably my favorite on the album outside of Detroit Rock City. It's so heavy and great. Shout It Out Loud, super memorable. But it doesn't have as much on here as I've listened to it. It doesn't have as much on here overall that I want to listen to outside of the songs I listed. But it's super classic album. Love the artwork. Just awesome album. The production got so much better. This is a massive sound album. It's just really great. Bob Ezrin's awesome as the producer. And of course, there's nothing wrong with this album. It's just not, it doesn't quite do as much for me as it used to. Maybe I over listened to it. I don't know. But, I remember listening to it all the time when I first bought it. It's my first Kiss album that I ever bought. Next up for me, 1979, so we're the final album of the decade, Dynasty. It's probably blasphemy to put this album above Destroyer and a lot of the others, but I really enjoy this album. I Was Made for Loving You is one of the first Kiss songs I ever heard. I really like that song. Sure Knows Something, super memorable. Magic Touch, Charisma, Dirty Lovin's great. X-Ray Eyes, great stuff. Just super memorable album, and it's still great Kiss album in my opinion. Next up, 1977, Love Gun. This one surprised me a lot. I didn't think I was gonna like this one as much as I did, but it's super awesome. I Stole Your Love, Christine 16, super awesome and memorable. Shock Me is really good. Title track, Then She Kissed Me, Tomorrow and Tonight. Oh, so good. Great album, top to bottom, as are all of these, but this is a super memorable one. It's really great. Now, the next 2 have been the top 2 pretty much, after just Destroyer didn't become number 1 for me. These two have been the top two, and they have flip-flopped, honestly. Both released in 1974. I have to just say that Hotter Than Hell is my number two on production right now, even though it doesn't bother me, but it's super raw and I like that. But I will say the songs aren't just not quite as good as the debuts, although Parasite is probably my favorite Kiss song just about of all time. Got to Choose, Going Blind, title track. Watching You, Strange Ways is great. You know, this album is excellent. Just absolutely excellent in every conceivable way. And the only reason it's edged out is because the songs on here are just so strong on the debut. Self-titled. What a way to open the album with Strutter. Awesome. They have great openers in the 70s. 80s, early 80s to me they did too, but the 70s, you know, they outshine that. Strutter, Nothing to Lose, Firehouse, Gold Gin, 100,000 Years, Black Diamond, awesome stuff, top to bottom. Crushing album, excellent opener, debut album, one of the best ever, I would say. And I just can't say enough about these 70s albums, even though, you know, this stuff has to fall somewhere. Every single album here is a top 10 Kiss album for me by a mile. You know, I mean, there's, you know, there's only 7 albums, so other stuff's gonna make it in there, obviously, the top 10, but the 70s, just Kiss in the 70s was untouchable. They were awesome, crushing band, and I really do love the 70s Kiss albums a lot. Let me know which ones your favorites are. Rank them as well. I'm sure your list is not the same as mine. Destroyer is probably up there on most lists. I'm sure it's not at the bottom, but you never know. I just want to see your rankings. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody.